Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Screen. Hope you guys are doing well. It's good to see everybody. Gavin, ACN, what is up? Oh, I need to turn on some tunes. It's too quiet. Turn on our creepy playlist. Oh my god! By the way, guys, have you guys watched the newest season of Castlevania yet? I binge watched that shit in like a day. If you guys have not watched any of Castlevania, go and watch it. It's so good. Love me some Castlevania. Okay, I don't want the music too loud. But yeah, we're gonna hop right into it. So, I don't think this prep session is going to be nearly as long as the other two, because we pretty much prepped everything beforehand because the players went a direction that I did not expect. And so we're actually over prepared. So I think what we're going to be doing is just doing a little bit more world building, maybe prepping some potential encounters that they might come across. Not combat encounters, because I think the combat encounters are like with where they're at, going to fight that wretched crawler, the big centipede thing. I think they're going to be probably pretty spent. So I don't think we actually need to prep another combat encounter, but we'll prep some social encounters or something like that, and maybe plan on what they're going to do when they get back to Hallow, maybe. So that's what we're going to kind of work on today. So minimizing chat, got an Instagram. Also finally getting a zoo up and running today. Hell yeah. Can't wait to see that. You haven't finished it yet, or is there a new season again? Please say yes. So Castlevania Season 4 just came out last week. So they are intent on shooting things. That is true. They are intent on shooting things. And running in, not blindly. Which I loved, by the way. I did love that little encounter with between Kimura and Nock. I really did like seeing their dynamic grow and whatnot. I thought that was really fun. So Session 4, we're already on Session 4, guys. That's not a lot, but that's a lot. We've played for a month already. Hell yeah. Probably gonna have probably good to have some templates ready. Yeah, exactly. That's the plan at the very least. So Session 4, do we just call it the Wretched Crawler? I think we just call it the Wretched Crawler, because I'm assuming that's what they're gonna fight. So our to-do list tonight is to finalize any prep for the Wretched Crawler fight encounter. Prep market area. Let's do prep flesh out market area, in case they decide to go to the market where the Kyrogen went. So that's essentially what happened is, if you guys remember, in that encounter, one of the Kyrogen got away in a carriage with that little half-orc child, and seemingly went somewhere. And we know, or I know, where that Kyrogen went, which is to the market. to help take care of that child. It was kind of told that that's where they take most of the people now, because the asylum is too full. So I want to get that area. I also want to flesh out the asylum. I have some fun stuff sort of planned for the asylum, as far as more hints. Sorry, I'm gonna burp. More like lore bits, not lore bits, but some Easter eggs. We'll see. We're gonna get into some potential spoiler territory tonight, so just so y'all are aware. I want to prep that stuff, and then prepare for the return to Hallow. And then I think I want to add a social encounter. So prepare a lot of prep words. I'm just gonna do social encounter, minor combat question mark, maybe, if they decide just to fight stuff. So that sounds good to me. I don't know if we'll get to all of it tonight. I don't know how imperative it is to get all that anyway, so we'll see. So let's work on finalizing the prep for the Wretched Crawler fight. So let's just come to roll 20. This is going to go hand in hand with the social encounter, I think. I think I'm gonna do that. So obviously, just to remind ourselves, to refresh ourselves, so we have the Wretched Crawler here, which I need to figure out how to see the nameplate. Because they said they couldn't see the name, which they should be able to, so I don't know why that was the case. We have the arm right here of Duxon, and we have our players. All that should be good. We've got the pyre that everybody was burnt. I want to add some people hiding. That's the prep I want to do for this and the minor social encounter. So we'll knock both of those out in one fell swoop. And what I want to do is I want to add some survivors. Where am I going? I want to add some survivors to this encounter. So people that hid from the Kyrogen and got away with it. The unfortunate thing about... I don't need this one. The unfortunate thing about these people is they are sick. So what my thoughts are on this is I want there to be a stake. So I'm kind of thinking broadly, right? We've introduced the Kyrogen. We've introduced something else that Aedrid had, hint, hint. That's pretty, to be honest, that little scene was super important. That has a major effect on pretty much everything. So I want to bring some of these ideas together and give them a stake in this district story, because I don't want them just to go to one district, come back and be like, oh yeah, we're just going to go somewhere else and do something different. I want them to stick around a little bit longer. So that's what we're going to do. There are going to be survivors. And I have the perfect way to do this. I don't want just... We could just throw some random ass people in here, I guess. Let's see. Or we could add some kobolds or something like that. That might be interesting. A warg with a rider? Oh my god, we're gonna use that eventually. I don't need an orc. I just need townsfolk. Yeah, that'll work. I don't know if they'll see this, but I just want this here to so I know where they're at. I remember that scene was well done. Oh my, that was so fun to roleplay. There were so many little minor things like hinted and dropped. I don't know if many. I'm sure some people did. Watching the VOD and the reactions of some of the players is they did catch some of that stuff, but I don't think like I know for a fact they don't understand the weight of that stuff. At least not yet. So welcome back, ACN. We can yeah. So we can throw this guy in here too. So these guys were hiding. I guess I can leave them on the token layer. This is the only place where... Ooh. Yeah, what we can do is I can move this like here. Essentially, they barred the door with the wagon. Yeah, that'll work. So essentially, what we need to prep is okay. Ooh. The wretched crawler encounter. And we can steal some of this stuff from our other session. We can prep this essentially because we didn't use any of this really. We did the first encounter is abandoned cluster of homes with X marked on the doors. The houses are empty and it seems as if people just vanished. Kyrogen holding lanterns, which we did see. And then we need to do the Stego centipedes. By the way, I also recognized the battle music that night and did the horn sounds with it. Yes, I love it. Yeah. Critical Role used some of this. It's Kevin McLeod. It's in Comptech or whatever. They use that as well. So yeah, I have to add that stuff in there, right? I mean, it's like a staple of every one of my campaigns. So to remind ourselves, the Stego centipede, which we can rename to the Wretched Crawler because it has a name now, is bearing eggs and rises to the surface to consume meat. Unfortunately, there's a plague in the old cook market, and this bug has become infected. It knows it's dying and has become hyper aggressive. I don't know how many times I said that to the party, is that they deal with hyper aggressive people. Anyway, party will come across a dead Kyrogen. That's fine. He doesn't have the Plague Doctor syringe anymore because they already found that on the ones that they killed. Other Kyrogen have burnt the citizens of this town, so they do not pass plague. So let me copy that stuff over. So this is just stuff we need to remember. And then we need to get reminded of the plague. So my thinking, just do the plague, why not? Oh my god, so excited. Also, so is Sigismund dead? Absolutely not. Sigismund resides in the asylum. He doesn't really ever leave the asylum. So I'm really interested to see what happens with Sigismund. Obviously, the party has never met him. but he's been mentioned to them several times through conversation. He's kind of, he's potentially one of the bosses that they might fight, which is another thing we need to do, is maybe prep some stats for him. Because, I mean, I don't think the players will get to him, but there's a chance. Because I was worried when they managed to kill the group lead. Oh yeah, no. That Kyrogen was just a lowly, like a higher ranking member, but on the lower end of the spectrum. If you guys remember, they found the syringe on him, which in the lore states that when they're given that, when we decided this last time, is when they're high enough ranked or looked highly upon within the ranks of the Kyrogen, they have to do a ritual, which is the surgery on themselves, and they have the painkiller, which is in the syringe, and if they use the more they use, the less they're looked upon, the lower they're looked upon, and the less they use, the higher they're looked upon. And yeah, Gavin, exactly, his was pretty close to being empty, so he had to use a lot of the painkiller in his surgery, so he's a little bit less so. And Sigismund doesn't have to do that sort of thing. He's the one who probably created that thing, or people do it because of him, kind of thing. So yeah. So we've got the Wretched Crawler. There are 3 surviving villagers within this area. They hid themselves from the Kyrogen and have managed to hide from the Wretched Crawler. Crawl. So even though I'm like halfway through the map, I'm really excited to do a time lapse of it for like the later release. Ooh yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited. Okay, so these people are sick with plague. One of them is in the later stages and shows signs of hyper aggression. He will be incredibly agitated and will attack if remotely provoked. Plague zombies, I dig it. They're not quite zombies, kind of. I don't know how much to reveal of what they are quite yet, but they're kind of like zombies. We kind of got some zombie apocalypse going. Was a D&D campaign without some zombies, right? So my plan here is Alder is the one who finds these sickened people. He will not attract, what's the word I'm thinking of? Contract? He will contract the plague. So this is my way of adding some tension to the party to see what they do. I'm really interested. I love Calder too, okay? I love Calder too. It's gonna be up to the party to save him. So it's going to be pretty, I want it to be pretty obvious to the players that Calder finds these guys, and they have been told that if you get close to them, you can get sick. All three of these people will be sick. One of them will be farther along, essentially stage 4, right? So we have our stages here. The others will be like maybe stage 1, between stages 1 and 3. And the last one, the blacksmith guy, will be stage 4. So essentially he's pretty far gone. So I guess they will attack anything they see, which will be interesting because then I could role play some combat, and that makes it really easy for the players to hear what's going on. And I'll either do this before or after the combat. It really just kind of depends on what's the roleplay, what happens within the roleplay and whatnot. So that's the plan there. They better fix him, but not kill him. Oh, by the way, we can't have any talking foxes. Why not? I wasn't going to have talking foxes, but now that you mention it, I want talking foxes. So yeah, that's the plan there. Alder will get sick, and what they will have to decide. Oh, Kimura keeps shooting while talking animals. That's fair. So the party will be here. The party will be in this purple hex when they fight the wretched crawler. They might end up staying a couple of nights to rest or whatnot. During that time, the onset for this plague we decided is 3 days. So within 3 days, Calder is going to begin to show signs of getting sick. So they can do a couple things. They have been told that the market where the Kyrogen spend their time, or where a lot of the Kyrogen are, and they help keep people well, are in this market, right? So that's 2 days away. They can maybe get him there and they can take care of him. Maybe. It's gonna be really interesting if they go that route, because the other Kyrogen that they attacked, the one that survived, is there. The Kyrogen will know that the party attacked, but they might be able to do some convincing to let them keep them there. But the Kyrogen are going to want something in return. More so, Sigismund is going to want something in return. Either that, or they try to take him home, which is 4 days away. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 days away. I need to double check the rules on how if it's every 3 days, and if they, have to roll again or whatever. The thing is, if they take Calder back to Hallow, he will not survive. They need the information that the Kyrogen have. They might be able to keep him. I mean, they'll be able to keep him maybe. I don't want to say they're gonna. He won't survive. He just won't get any better. So, I mean, as long as he doesn't hit stage 4 in 3 days, that's fine. Because otherwise, 3 out of 4 party will likely just kill him. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'll get my kidney for Calder. Well, he's not going to show signs until the 3rd day, or after the 3rd day. I'm going to say the 3rd day. So let's look up our rules real quick. Let me get some books out, and we'll look at we'll look at diseases here. This is going to put the party in a tough situation. I'm really interested to see what happens. you know. So direct contact is direct contact incorrect. Let's see. All diseases have an incubation period, a period of time where, infected or not, you display no symptoms. At this stage, you have no idea if you're actually infected yet. All you can do is wait and hope for the best. It's also safe to say if players get too close to these guys that are fighting, that is attacking Calder, they could also get sick. They will also have to roll to see if they get sick. Once the initial incubation has passed, it's time to see if your character was infected and displays any symptoms. Make a Constitution saving throw against the DC. This is called an infection check. So I'm skipping this for Calder for story reasons. I'm not going to actually have Calder roll that. I'm going to say that he fails. And so essentially the third day he will fail his check, and the party might need to we'll need to roll then. Considering the incubation period, I wouldn't tell them that they're sick just in 3 in character days. Exactly. So what I'll do is I'll describe if they do get close enough, they will get like I'll describe the symptoms and then they'll have to make the check. So will cleric spells have any kind of relief for it? It will stave off stages. So they would have to use like a lesser restoration or something along those lines to stave off progressing to the next stage. It will not heal the stage that they are on, and it will not cure the plague. Exactly. It's not even buying time for the Kyrogen. It is delaying the inevitable. Because if you recall, the Kyrogen said that this plague has no cure. Which is partially true. It's partially true. Noct doesn't really have reach. The only one that has reach is Vaughter. Vaughter has 10-foot reach. Noct does not. Kimura is the only one without a melee weapon. She has a dagger now. I think everybody's capable of doing ranged except for Noct at the moment. Kimura has her guns. Vaughter has his spells, and Wisp has her darts, so she can throw stuff. She doesn't mainly use melee weapons. Yeah, exactly. So the reason that here's a major spoiler for you guys. The reason that generic regular cleric spells do not cure the disease is because there is a magical element to the plague. So it will stave off the effects, but it will not cure it. The only one who has the knowledge potentially to cure it is Sigismund himself. But he will send the party on a quest. And essentially he'll either like I see it playing out several ways. Whose peeps they just killed? Exactly. So it's going to take some convincing, but it wouldn't be. It's not going to be super hard to convince him. I don't think Sigismund cares that much about his doctors. In fact, I know he doesn't care that much about his other doctors. The doctors, the Kyrogen themselves, are the ones who are more upset about people killing their other people. Sigismund not as much because of reasons which we may or may not see. I hope we do. So yeah, so I see it going a couple ways. Either the party goes directly to the market, which then they'd have to go here, which is where the asylum is. So I mean, that's 4 days. Or they take him back here and he doesn't get worse, and then they decide to travel alone without Calder. It's going to be more, honestly, it's more difficult if they take Calder back to Hallow than it is to go here, obviously. One, because it's going to be harder to convince, if they do end up getting to Sigismund, it is going to be harder to figure out, or it's going to be harder to convince him to let him help, or, you know, it's going to be harder to convince him. If they take Calder back and he is sick and gets worse, it could threaten all of Hallow, which would be, holy shit, so interesting, right? So there's some things that might prevent that. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Hint, wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So yeah, that's kind of the situation. Rabid Calder and Hallow, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it, at least. Because I think, especially now that the party is starting to really begin to care for Calder in a way, it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. Use one of the black markers. Yeah, that's for a dungeon. That's a dungeon up there. Yeah. Do you guys want a big hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, spoiler? Not super spoiler, but kind of. Do you want a super secret right now? Hell yeah. There's one hell yeah. I love secrets. Okay. If you do not want a spoiler, mute now, and I will give you a thumbs up when you're good. Okay. Mute now if you don't want spoilers. So, last episode, Aedrid made mention when he was talking to Kimura that he is hiding from the curator of the nightmare he was living in, if you guys recall. The curator, right fucking here. No, actually, the curator is actually down here, if I remember correctly. It's one of those. The curator's in this square. This is the curator's old home. So yeah. Anyway. Spoiler talk is done. Anyway, okay. So I hope I'm not putting this Calder getting sick, Calder in peril thing too early. That was not the spoiler I was thinking. That's good then. That's good then. I hope I'm not pushing this too early, where I haven't allowed, or where the relationship with Calder hasn't had time to grow. But it might be the perfect time as well. So we'll see. I'm pretty excited. I think it'll be good. it's going to give the party something to care about that's not themselves and see what they do. And it's another obstacle. So, yeah. Calder is the one who finds sick people. He will contract plague. If players get too close, 5 feet, they have the potential to get sick. Con save after 3 days. Might be a way for the party to build up that relationship. Exactly. My greedy self wants Calder for one more Thursday. Look, I don't want to get rid of Calder because I have a lot more planned with Calder. Calder has a bigger story for sure. And I don't want him to pass or die or whatever either. But that's going to be entirely up to the players. I am more than willing to kill off an NPC, especially one that's becoming a little bit more beloved, for the sake of story. So wait, how do they help Calder after the fact? They can't get near him? I don't know. That's going to be up for them to decide. My thinking is he won't display symptoms until, you know, a little bit after, if they decide to go to the market, which again is best case scenario, is they're like, oh my god, Calder just got close to someone who's sick, let's be proactive and try to take him to the market. The Kyrogen will be able to quarantine him, essentially. But they're not going to want to give him back, and they'll have to fight or convince the Kyrogen to let him go, which they will probably be like, if you want him, you're going to have to go talk to Sigismund, which will be my way to introduce that character. If they try to take him back all the way to Hallow, I don't know. I would hope my players are smarter than that and might find a way to quarantine themselves. I can imagine someone getting a plank and a rope and dragging him. That's true. Other options are they could steal Kyrogen masks, because those plague masks actually do something. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it up to the players. Done. And this is done as well. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. So we need to flesh out the market area and flesh out the asylum, because there's potential for them to go to there and then prep the return to Hallow. So one thing I need to do is I need to track how long they've been gone. Nock has half of one. I think he has a full one, but it's been cleaved in half. Which I feel like I should have described if there was something in it. But if he asks again, I will. So 1, 2, 3. Has it only been 3 days? No, it's been 3. It's been 3.5 days, because they took a half day to rest because of the rain. Days. I'm tracked 3.5 at the moment. 3.5 days. I don't know if the players don't realize. I don't think anybody realizes. There's more than just losing light and time and food and stuff and rations and things such as that while they're out and about. There's a lot more. I have this. Yeah, they didn't actually inspect the mast, so can always introduce that if they ever, yeah, if they ever take a closer look at, absolutely. So, I don't know if you guys have noticed. Did they stop and get water somewhere? No, not yet, but I'm assuming they refilled while they were with Aedrid. Aedrid gave them some water, so they should be good. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but whenever they've asked someone who lives in Vedranis how long it's been, what happened, things like that, they are always met with confusion and uncertainty. For example, Lorne didn't really know how long he said, oh yeah, I sent that party and I think it's been that long, I don't know. They also asked Aedrid, he said time eludes me. I think it's been mentioned a couple times, we're like, oh, time. Time. Eh. There is a reason for that in the world. Again, potentially more spoilers for everybody, so just so you know. The way the rules work within Vedranis, everywhere but Hallow is special. When they traverse outside of Hallow, it's almost as if they pass into a different plane of existence. Meaning that time does not work normally. Time does not work the same in Vedranis. That is why people get so confused when they say that it's been missing for 100 years. Because, for example, to Aedrid, it was not 100 years. We don't know how long it was for Aedrid, and it is different for every single citizen of Vedranis. Some of them, it might have been a couple days. For others, years. For some others, centuries. So, big spoilers. Whenever the players leave Vedranis, or Hallow, whenever they come back, after a certain amount of time, I roll on this table. I think I might need to update it. So essentially I roll, and let's say I roll a d20 and I roll a 1. Hours become seconds. So if they are gone for 4 days, what is 4 days in hours? I'm bad at math and I'm stupid. 96. They're gone for 96 hours. If I were to roll a 1, everybody in Hallow would think they were gone for 96 seconds. If I rolled a 20, hours become months. So if they're gone for 4 days, in Vedranis time, when they get back to Hallow, they have been gone for 96 months. So, time does not work normally. Most likely it'll be a no change. That has several different impacts. So I don't want to do this every time, though. I want it to be under a special circumstance, and I think I'm not going to do it this time. What I'm going to do, I need to look at my other map. I think this might actually be the asylum right here. This is something else. What will it'll happen if they enter a green square, or a particular green square. There are different things for each different green square, and I need to remember which one's which. I think if they step foot in this one and this one, I believe. So I might need to change the colors of these ones. But if they enter these two, that's when the time will be wonky for them. But it also starts to make sense of why so many adventuring parties go out and never come back. They might not be dead. They might just be in a different time loop thing. So it's entirely possible that all of a sudden an adventuring party returns after years, but to them they've only been gone a few days. So we'll see if that ever happens. But yeah, I think it'll be in one of these. So I'll have to make some more markers or something like that. But anyway, there's that. Super exciting, spoilery stuffs. So I don't have to worry about that at the moment necessarily. Prep out the market area and asylum. Those are kind of, I don't know how important those are, because I can probably just improv that pretty easily. What I want to do is I want to come up with the return for Hallow and prep stats. I might not even be able to, I don't know, I might not even be able to prep for Hallow because I don't know what they're going to do when they come back, and it could be, if they go straight back to Hallow, it's going to be different compared to if they go to the market first. So that's amazing, the time warp idea. Yeah, I'm super excited. It'll be super fun. Let's look at let's try to find some stats for for Sigismund. Oh, racist monsters. So I don't know. This is gonna be quite intense. I mean, we got some markers for sure. That's true. That is true. So Sigismund is an Aarakocra. Let's go advanced filters. So he's a humanoid. Monster tags, is that what I want? Let's do the time warp again. I'm thinking that he might be some sort of cleric. Challenge rating between 0 and 6 is the most I'll go. 6 is the most I'll go. So we need to find some sort of magic wielding. That can't be all. Let's just do this. There's an Aarakocra, so this is what Sigismund is. He looks more crow-like or corvid-like, obviously. So, but we're not going to use that. Like, he's a little bit more badass than that. Abyssal chicken. Oh my god, I think he's ugly. I love it. Okay. Maybe we'll do like 3 to 6. I wanted just to be a humanoid, but it's like, oh, there's not enough. Has lair, mythic, legendary, vulnerability, magic, movement type. Do core D&D. Source. This. There are so many monsters. This is the problem. Do-do-do. Biddle-doo, biddle-doo, biddle-doo. This is why I want to do. This is gonna give me like nothing though. I might just have to scroll through some of the books. Yeah, let me just open the books. I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to navigate. We've got. I want to use in particular. Volo's Guide to Monsters and Mordenkainen's Tomb of Foes, I think. So let's go through Volo's. Because I know there's some, like, dark things around here. I'm just trying to think of a monster that he could take the stats of, essentially. Was it Volo's Guide or was it Xanthar's Guide? Let me look at Xanthar's Guide as well. I love this art, by the way. It's so cool. Maybe it's not in this one. I think it is in Volo's. Look at the table of contents again. War Priest. Warlock of the Archfey, Warlock of the Fiend, Warlock of the Great Old One, Warlord. I don't know, I'm going this direction, but... Conjurer? What I'm just trying to find an easier way to, instead of creating a full set of stats for him, I'm just trying to think of find something that I can steal. Enchanter might be something. Not illusionist. Kraken Priest. You guys can't see that, can you? There we go. Let's go on. Let's look at the War Priest and the Enchanter. So 213 and 218. Oh, there's a Diviner too. Diviners are special wizards. Knowledge is power. Enchanters are wizards. I don't think he'd be a wizard though. I think he'd definitely be a cleric. Evoker. I'm not using illusionist. Evoker's too strong. Kraken Priest. No, doesn't fit exactly what we want. Necromancer. I mean, that's pretty tough. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. We can maybe do Necromancer and dumb it down a little bit, because that's pretty nasty. I don't think he'd be a Necromancer, though. It's not about raising the dead. It's kind of the opposite. War Priest is a CR9. Thank you. Where's plate armor? We can change that. Divine favor. It's almost as if, so that means he has a god that he worships. Guiding bolt, healing word, shield of faith, those make sense. Lesser restoration makes sense. Magic weapon makes sense. Prayer of healing, silence, spiritual weapon makes sense. Guided strike, the priest grants a plus 10 bonus to an attack roll made by itself or another creature in 30 feet. The priest can make this choice after the roll is made, but before it hits or misses. There is a giant crow in Vedranis, BT dubs. I was gonna look at the Lost Gods really quick. Let's see which one fits. We don't want to do Velen. We don't want to do Amara. It wouldn't be Knickknack. It wouldn't be Ilzeros. Parcel. It wouldn't be Parcel. Ket. Ket could be interesting, maybe. Ashala. Maybe. Not Eofair. Rockall. It wouldn't be Rockall either. Hiwa. Grave, no, but and life, so maybe Hiwa. Let's read about Hiwa real quick. The patron of nearly every entertainer in Regent Center Vedranis. Hiwa is the main act of all rituals done in their honor. Hiwa's followers are known as Harlequins. Live to perform. Doesn't make sense. I don't think Hiwa would work. I mean, maybe Eofair would. This would be so interesting. I have an idea. Eofair is often spoken of in reference to their romantic pairing with Ilzeros, the god of war and competition. Their avatars are bound to one another in many stories and myths, all saying that while Ilzeros gives them away in sacrifice for the safety of Eofair, it is Eofair who is left alone to suffer, alone without their lover and companion. Not all kinds of love overseen by Eofair are romantic or sexual. They are also the patron of friendship, devotion, and childbirth. At the heart of Eophagian worship is the understanding of control. The way in which lovers trust that their partner will not bring them harm unless that is what they seek. This being said, Eophagian priests often engage in carnal acts during public displays of worship, and these ways, more often than some would care to admit, devolve into acts of lust or usury. Eophagians are often those who find their calling in fields that require fidelity or pleasure. Judges, craftspeople, bartenders, even drug dealers, sex workers. Interesting, rarely worship Eofair, as there is a troubled history concerning the abuse of prostitutes during certain Eophagian festivals. I don't even know if Eofair would work. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a different deity. And I think I have an idea. So we're gonna go Dark Souls name generator. We'll do this in a minute. Let's keep looking for. We're gonna do War Priest. So what we'll do: game rules or collections. Create a monster. War. Why can't I? Why won't it? Why won't it find it? Well, this is what I want, but What is the CR of this? This might end up working? We're in the... Oh, challenge rating 2. Average points is 27. We'd have to bump that up. I think this will actually work. And we'll just change some of the stuff. What page is a priest on? I think it's just on a regular. I wonder if we can hold on 1 second. Game rules, monsters. Let's search for. I wonder why I can't actually like take this and make it into what I want. I mean, we can. What his challenge rating would be? I hate how D&D Beyond does this. I swear it's so much more difficult. Why won't it let me take one of the monsters from here and make a homebrew thing? Right, doing something different. Huh. I don't know why it's not wanting to work properly. We can even change that if we do. Yeah, let's just like do a combination. I don't know what his challenge rating would be. I really like this Divine Eminence. I think I want to give him some, what, 4th level spells? Banishment, Freedom of Movement, Stone Skin, Guardian of Faith. The Guardian occupies a space and is... Any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save. That might be way too much. I think what we'll do is we're just going to up some of these stats. Let's give him 19 or 18. That seems good. He's pretty charismatic as well. Like he's got pretty good stats. I'm gonna lower his dexterity 14. Saving throw proficiencies would be intelligence and charisma. That'll work. Just save the changes real quick. We'll update his information here in a second. Oh, there he is. Sigismund. You guys might get a little. I'm just trying to find some art for him. It's not going to be exactly what we want, but see. I don't need a picture for D&D Beyond. That's fine. We'll work on him a bit more in a little while. Hit points modifier. $5d8. Good. GM roll 11. 8. 5. It's just the average. 50 plus 57 plus 60 plus 63 plus 55 divided by 5, 57. I can give him 57 HP. That makes sense to me. Well, I want to browse my function. Thank you very much. We might up this damage as well. And he's got plenty of slots, so he can actually use this Divine Eminence a decent amount. Which will be pretty nasty. So essentially what it is as a bonus action, Sigismund can expend a spell slot to cause its melee weapon attacks to magically deal an extra 3d6 radiant damage to a target on a hit. This benefit lasts until the end of the turn. If the priest expends a spell slot of second level or higher, for these ones, the extra damage is increased by 1d6. So if he does a second level spell slot, it is 46, and a third level spell slot would be 5d6. That's a lot of damage. He is badass. So what we need to do is we need to come up with information about his god. Which I have some idea. I think I told you, Gavin, about the so there is spoiler warning, there is a big giant crow in Vedranis that all the little crows follow. And Sigismund, as an Aarakocra, does like worship this crow as well. The crow is not like a fully fledged god. Not like the lost gods, but he still has some semblance of power because he has so many followers. So I want to come up with a name for him real quick. Prime of Pride. I like Prime of something. And Corvids are pros, right? Yeah, we can call him like something Corvid or something like something along that. Prime of Caw. Oh my god, lol. Oh boy. This guy dwells in a place called the Rookery, which is which I need to add. Vedranis districts. New page below. The Rookery. Where Crow God resides. Anyway, I'll make data names from words like prestige became Regis Tep and experience became. Oh yeah, I can kind of see that. I do want to go like with a Dark Souls kind of vibe. Let me check my phone real quick. Sorry. Go to ACN for names. Okay. No one ever notices ever. We could do some sort of like, is that an ambergram? We could do something like that. That'd be kind of cool. I think I have. Do I have a list still? Look at all these characters that we don't even know about yet. Oh, you guys want another spoiler? Do you want another spoiler? It'll just be, I'll just show you the name. Oh my god, actually, I kind of like the name Godwin. I don't know. Isn't there like a... I just had like a name idea. Altir Cause. I just had a name pop into my head, now it's gone. Shit. Oh. What is Radovid? What is that from? What is Radovid from? Is that The Witcher? That's what it is. I was thinking, because I was looking at Corvid and like looking to maybe twist that name around a little bit. And call him like Radovid, like Lord of the Rookery or something of the Rookery or something. Lord of Corvid or Lord of Corvids or something like that. See. Ow. Corvidaeus. I want to come up with like a cooler name. We don't even have to give him a name. We can just give him a title. Like he's... like his name has been lost kind of thing, you know? That would be kind of cool. The Carry-On Man. He never got an actual name. What is the actual, like... the decaying flesh of dead animals? That would work. I do like that word, though. I do like that word, though. Shit. Names are tough. Which is what crows eat, yeah. Liaison of... oh, I thought I said crows. Crows is in here. It's one of the things. What does rook actually mean? What if we just called him Rook? Carrion Collector. I don't think he... no, because he's like above that because he's a god, right? So he doesn't collect body parts. Like flesh or anything like that. I don't know. I want the bird. I didn't know that a jackdaw was an actual bird. I mean, this isn't super important right now. Carrion Rook. That sounds like a... like the name of a thief in a fantasy story. His name's not important at the moment. We'll figure it out later. Essentially, we've got his stats for the most part. I might need to change this, but and this. It depends when the party gets to him, really. I'm not too concerned about that. We'll worry about that later. Okay. Prep stats for Sigismund is done. Carrion. Could incorporate carry-on without using the word. That's true. That is true. Prep return for Hallow. I can't really do that. Ending in progress. This is also pending. This will be improv. Okay. That's gonna probably do it for the prep side of things for me. There's not much to prep. A lot of it's gonna be very much improv, probably, just depending on what the players decide to do. But like I said, we did most of the prep for this episode in this session already, because it's one of the first things we prepped, because I thought the party was going to get farther than they have, which is not a bad thing at all. So I'm gonna leave it to questions for a sec. If anybody had any questions or anything that they wanted to ask about the campaign or anything like that, I will answer some questions. And if there's no questions, then I called her. So Aggie? Aggie? You mean like the shortened form for agriculture? I don't know what to mean. Oh. Calder. Calder's fate is up to the party, my friends. I'm actually super stoked for that. I'm really excited to see what the party decides to do. Make Unshuttered doodle with you? I can't make Gavin do anything. It's all Gavin. I need to see what they decide to do. Yeah, I'm super excited. Oh, Gavin's doodling already. What are you doodling, Gavin? Tell us. Or you don't. You don't have to. But tell us. I'm just kidding. Is it a surprise? It is a surprise. Shit! Just kidding. Okay. Wales. I think that might do it for tonight, guys. I'm like super tired. I don't know why. But it will be Discord posted. Hell yeah, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it for me tonight as far as prep. and we'll see what happens on Thursday. I'm super excited, guys. I am loving this campaign so much. It's better than I ever could have thought. I love the party dynamic. I love just watching their reactions. Like I sent a DM to Ray because her reactions are like priceless. She has some of the funniest like and also like heartwarming reactions, like when she reacts to things, and like even Justin's the same way. Like you see like Justin's eyes go big when he says something, and then Derek's just like shaking his head and shit all the time. Like I love it. Like I haven't had players who like all my players react in such a way to things that I'm telling them, and it's such an incredibly awesome feeling, and it's just been so much fun. So I'm really excited to see what happens. We've got some interesting things, so, but it may or may not be fan art. Oh my god, Gavin's creating fan art. I like name making. I have a list with 41 character names that I just listed out today. Jesus, I'm not, names for me come and go. I can sometimes come up with names like on the fly, like super quick, and I just get it, and other times it's like can't think of anything. Ben's more subtle, but Def has expressions going on. Yeah, can tell she's restraining herself. Yeah, she's really like getting into her character though, which I really like. The problem is that she doesn't use, so we use grid fam, right, for our webcams, and so we can see each other and rearrange them appropriately. But Ben does not use grid fam, so I actually can't see her face and her expressions in the way that she's reacting unless I have the stream up, which I'll usually have Roll20 up, and then I'll on my first monitor right here, I'll have Roll20, and then I'll have the stream, so I can alt tab to the and see the stream and chat when I'm not doing something of super importance. But usually I don't see Fenn's reactions and face a whole lot. When I can't think of names, I have name banks. Yeah, I should probably do something like that, but I don't know. I reuse names. I reuse characters all the time. Calder Crane is one of my old warlocks that I played for a spat, like a couple sessions. Kyron is also based off of one of the characters I made that only got to play like a couple sessions. Is there anybody else? I don't think so. But yeah, I'll reuse names. I'll reuse characters. Just what I do. So, but that is gonna do it for me. I'm gonna maybe find some food. Maybe. Snacks. I don't know. I'm gonna chill out. I don't think I'm working tomorrow. I don't think I'm working at all this week because IRL. But yeah, if you guys aren't caught up, I gotta ping stuff. If you guys are new here, make sure you follow the channel. Make sure you join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. All that stuff. And get ready for episode 4 of the Lost City of Vedranis. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.